What's up, guys? Welcome back to another John Langell YouTube video. I hope that you enjoy this video. What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 2 of Rating Tracks in Kansas. Today we're at the beautiful Graves Sporting Complex at Kansas Wesleyan University. That is right, the first university of our rating today. So let's start off taking a look at the track. I can't lie, the surface is subpar, not very good, but you know, it makes up for it in a few different ways. The surface is not bouncy, it's hard for sure, not much traction either. Overall surface I give about a 3. You know, average is not good. Probably should be resurfaced soon, but that's whatever. Moving on, the atmosphere. They've got a nice big grandstand right here with some very nice press box. Not a whole lot of seating, but it is an NAIA school, so it's not quite as big as it would be. Very nice. You know, they've got fence all around, even though they let it open right there. I don't understand the point of a fence. They have fence all around the area. But let's move on to what makes this track so unique. So, you got the football field. It's turf. You know we love some turf. It's turf over there as well, which is interesting. Anywhere there would be grass, there is instead turf. Interesting choice, kind of gives it a dystopian feel, if you ask me. Football field is very nice goal post. It also is a soccer pitch. It can be used as a soccer pitch. It looks like they do use it as a soccer pitch. But overall, I find the football field to be really nice. But we'll shortly get into why this track is so unique. But before we do that, let's take a closer look at the grandstand. So as you can see, I'm going downstairs. So, this grandstand also functions as a locker room. They have 2 locker rooms on both sides, and I think it's very interesting how you go in down here. You know, it's very nice for exiting the locker room. You're right onto the field. Overall, that doesn't really matter too much for track, but overall, this grandstand is pretty nice. And aside from the size, I would say it's up there. It's definitely a 7. I would give it a 7. You know, it's not a big grandstand, but you get what you get when you get a track, you know. This is doubling as a football field, as small schools usually do. But that just about does it for the grandstand. Let's move on to the hidden part. So, before we get into the special part about this track, we first want to take a look at some of the decor. So here's some history about the track, whatever. So, this grandstand right here was originally built in 1940, and then in 2014 they completely tore it down and made this one. Now, if you ask me, 2014 is not that long ago to need to make a new one. Maybe they should have kept it. It looks a lot cooler in this picture anyway. But there's just some mumbo jumbo, whatever. But apparently in 1940 they were the football champions, whatever that means. But back here it's kind of a concrete jungle. There's just a bunch of random stuff everywhere. Not entirely anything besides bathrooms and just a bunch of concrete stuff. I don't know what's going on, but it's pretty interesting stuff right here. There's stuff on the back about the guy that there's some stuff on the back about the guy that made it or something, but I feel like Alex the Lion up here. New York, New York. If you know what I'm talking about, you a G. But anyway, I thought it'd be a lot harder to climb up here, but apparently my rock climbing skills are quite a bit better than I thought. Shock absorption. This is pretty interesting, but it doesn't really serve a whole lot of purpose. It's kind of a monument. Oh. Anyway, looks like this is the guy that created the university. Or no, he designed. Oh, this is the guy the stadium's named after, my bad. Anyway, interesting stuff. Well, that's the old stadium. And I'm just anyway. Overall, neat history, whatever. I think they should have kept the old stadium. It's a lot of concrete, but I digress. Let's move on to the actual interesting part about this stadium. So you may be wondering, why is there a tennis court behind me? I thought this was a track. Well, if you come over here and you take a look, you look at the tennis court, look over there. Look at the tennis court, look over there. Look at the tennis court, and look over there. As you can see, this sports complex houses not just a track, not just a football field, but tennis courts and another practice football field. Very interesting concept. You don't see too many sports complexes like this around, especially not at a high school level or at a university level. Usually these would all be separate, but it kind of brings an interesting, unique flair to the track. It makes it such a big, spacious vibe. I also like how there's a lot of turf. There's turf everywhere, which is always a plus. But another thing that's fake is this rock. It's hollow and, to my knowledge, serves no purpose but to probably hide something underneath it. But tennis courts are subpar, you know. There's some grass growing on it. Not the best tennis courts for sure, but it is what it is. We give them points. But they do have some steeples, which is nice. You don't get that with high school. Rate my steeple form, boys. Ah, dang. All right, let me get better on. Gonna have to get better at that for sure. But overall, the facility is really nice. There's a lot of space for activities. 2 football fields, a track, and a tennis court. You can't really jam-pack much more into that. Everything is really, really nice. Like, very new, right behind the campus. It is a small university. It's a NAIA private school, I will say that again. But overall, there is only one problem I have with that, and that is, of course, the surface. So, taking that into my rating, I was going to give this track a 10 just based off of its uniqueness and its what it brings to the area. But I can't give it a 10 with a surface like this. If it had a perfect track surface, I would probably give it a 10. But instead, I'm going to drop it down to an 8 just because the surface is, in my opinion, pretty rough. Not the best. Overall, I don't really like it. I didn't feel too responsive, didn't feel too hard. It just felt weird, in between. I don't really like the in between. I either want it stiff or I want it very bouncy. So, the pits are also right there. They're not outside of the campus or whatever. That is also a plus. But overall, it's gonna get an 8 for me just because surface is lacking for sure, but everything else I'm very happy with. And it's a great track, you know. Don't see too many tracks like this around the area. A very nice multi-sports complex, as you will. Thank you for watching, and please comment down below another track you want me to review and go to. Goodbye.
This video comes to an end. I want to say thanks for watching, and make sure to check out my other socials, as I have a podcast and a TikTok. And thanks for watching. Peace.